What's up, guys? Today I wanted to just I'm sharing with you guys this little baby leopard gecko that we hatched here. She is looking pretty. Colors are going bright. Actually, it's getting brighter and brighter, so can't wait for this girl to get more size. But I didn't realize how fast these things grow. I mean, this has only been a couple months, and she's like tripled in size. So, but anyways, I'm getting distracted, and my daughter's joining me here. So I just wanted to go ahead and share with you guys some of my breedings. How I choose my pairings. Right now, I've been preparing for this upcoming season, so I'm doing some review as far as my females, making sure that everything is ready to go.
I remember when that gecko was like just a teeny tiny baby.
Yeah.
And now it's so big.
Yeah. So I am just checking up on all the girls, making sure that everyone's eating, checking on their weight, and I usually do a list of females that I have, so that way I know exactly the order I'm going to be pairing them, so I can really conserve my males' energy. I don't like to overbreed them, so usually 2 to 3 females per male. So, all right, let's get this show on the road.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so here we have a super pastel male that is just about breeding size. He might need a 20 to 50 more grams, but the last time I weighed him he was around 650, 660 grams. But I've definitely had some males before that have bred smaller than this guy. So as far as just all about maturity, usually about a year, 18 months males typically breed, but I know some people that have bred them sooner, 6 months, 9 months, around that time. But I haven't had any success with that. So it usually takes about a year for me before a male starts breeding. So, but when I am trying to figure out my breeding plans for the year, usually I have 3 rules that I kind of go about that helps me determine what I'm going to be pairing. The very first one is really what do I like as far as what I like to see, and so I like to make those types of snakes, and the ones that I don't have in my collection as far as progressing my collection. So things that I like to see visually and that furthers my breeding projects. So if I'm trying to make 3 to 5 or 6, 7 gene snake, then what am I going to need to breed this year to be able to accomplish that maybe 2 years, 3 years down the line? So that's my first reason why I choose my pairings. Second is, if there is something that I actually have seen that I do like as well. So everything has to do with something I like that I've seen. So if I see something that I like and I do have the genes in my collection to be able to make them, then I try to make those. And not necessarily because it's part of my project, it's just because I like seeing it. So I know for a lot of you guys that are breeding, you want to be able to open that tub or their cage and you want to just say, wow, that's an awesome looking animal, right? So that's kind of how I look at it as my second reason. And then the third reason is, right, the demand, right? If I'm making snakes and if I'm doing, let's just say, 50 to 100 babies a year, obviously I can't keep all of them. So I do produce snakes for me to be able to sell as well to support the hobby. So if I'm going to make some breedings and pairings, I try to make the snakes or the combos that people actually would like to have in their own collection as well. So supply and demand. So if there's a demand for it, I try to make a few of those, so that way I can sell them, the babies, someone else can enjoy them, and I get to support my hobby using the same animals that I'm growing up. So it's kind of a mutual thing. So these supporting this hobby, it can get pretty expensive. You know, the electricity, the food, and the time, definitely. And so being able to sell and find these snakes homes is really important, because I definitely would not be able to keep all the ones that I produce every year. This year I actually have kept quite a bit of holdbacks, more so than the previous years. So I may still have to wean out some of the snakes. So as they get bigger, some of them I'm just growing up, seeing if there's color differences, just trying to figure out which one I really want to keep and not keep. So, and then if you have a lot of projects, that tends to increase the holdbacks, because you want to make sure that you keep those project snakes in the collection, so that way you can see their progress as far as color. Also, you might have to keep them so that you can breed them back to certain things. So, but yeah, those are the three things that I look at when I'm figuring out my pairings. And out of that though, it's all about having fun. If I'm having fun, it doesn't really matter, you know. It's a hobby, so it's meant to be fun, and at the same time making sure that all the animals that we produce, we create, and we keep are healthy, and when they do find homes, the homes that they go to are able to keep up and raise them and make them part of their family as far as pets are concerned. So okay, so I usually print out a spreadsheet. This is about 4 pages long, and I list down the females, the male I'm going to be using, and I usually put 2 just to be safe, just in case one of them a backup. Basically I look at it as like, oh, is that a combo I also want to make, just in case. I try to balance it out so I don't overwork the males. So I usually pick 2 to 3 females per male. This is where I put the dates, and if I need to put notes, I put notes in there. But I go by the list, and these are a list of females that actually went this year. There's a date that they laid, so I know when to expect or when to start pairing them. I look at it as a cycle. If they, like as an example, if they laid in March of 2018, I know that they should be up to weight by now, and by either end of the month or beginning of the November, I can start pairing them to males as long as they are up to weight. So 318, usually I do 2 to 3 locks. So if I start pairing now in November, I'll pair once a month. November, December, January, 3 locks should be plenty. January is the last lock. I would say expect to ovulate or to start building and ovulate around end of January, February, and they're gonna lay around the March month. So it's about a 5 to 6 month process as far as breeding is concerned. So at least in my opinion. So in my experience, and then the next one, so on and so forth. So most likely I'm gonna be having these clutches around the same dates. There are certain ones in here that are like clockwork. Every year they lay around 30 days from the date from the previous year. As an example, this Dinker female, the previous year she laid in March. This year she laid in April, and it's because I didn't pair her sooner than the previous year. So if they're good weight, they can be paired already, and usually they lay around within 30 days, give or take, from the date that they laid last, the previous year. Now, obviously, if you don't introduce any males, sometimes they will not go. So you can always rest the female, skip them a year if you want to give them a break. So let me go ahead and show you guys a few females now, and then we can go from there. All right. So before I actually show you guys some females, I need to go pack this ball python up. He actually just recently sold, so I have to go ahead and ship him out today. Where is he? There it is. So this guy is a black pastel, 100% het 4-5. So He's a pretty chill male. He's good. He's eating frozen thawed and or live. He'll take anything, live rats or live mouse or frozen thawed. So I'm going to get this boy shipped out, and then I'll show you guys a few of the females. So. Okay, so here we go. That's all packed up. Just gotta make sure that we put what it is. And I write down in here. Go, and then I tape up the label. So that's it. So this guy is ready to go. Alright, so excuse the mess. Just pulling this girl, and it looks like her tub needs cleaning, so that looks like fresh poop. But this girl right here is around 1,600 grams, but I can before I go clean her up. But before I start pairing her, I'm gonna go ahead and bulk her up a little bit more. She doesn't have the girth that I'm looking for, so I'm probably gonna go ahead and feed her a few more. But she will go this year. I won't pair her until around end of November or December. So get her. But she's eating really well. I mean, she's eating multiple rats at a time, so she should be gaining weight, her weight. So excuse the mess here. I'm gonna go ahead and replace this and show you guys another female. All right, so water bottle, clean water cup, get her out of the temporary tub, and there she is. So like this girl right here is around 1,700 grams. You know, a lot of these girls I've already kind of weighed already, so I know exactly where they're at. Another female that laid earlier this year. This one laid in April. She's gonna try to tag me, but this one, she's around 1,800 grams. She is a little bit thicker. She's a more mature female than this one. But to me, knowing my females, knowing my breeders, she is not quite up to weight yet, but she is eating well, so she's aggressively eating. So I think she's 2 or 3 more mediums away before I start pairing her. But definitely this girl right here is gained her weight back. So I really go by looks. I don't necessarily weigh all the time, especially those who are proven breeders. I know when they lay, so really getting to know your snakes and your females is important. Not just kind of a, oh, it looks cool, slapping it on. So it's slapping on pairing males, but it's really important. One of the things that you need to have when you are breeding or keeping snakes is heat gun. Number 1, make sure your temps are always good. Make sure that they're, with the weather changing, you may have to adjust your thermostat. Second, you need to have a scale. You can't go by looks alone, because some people are good at it, some people are not. I've seen people, they're pairing and the snakes are really tiny. I mean, it's half the size, and because they don't own a scale, they don't have a way to gauge it, and they haven't owned a bigger snake before, so they think that it's okay. So if you're a novice breeder, you make sure you have a scale, and you want to be able to see kind of the snake being girthy, good weight, at least at the minimums 15 to 1600 grams before you start introducing males. You just don't want them laying, and a lot of times if you're pair them up and end up not eating anymore at 1500 grams, you're gonna have a very small clutch, and you're risking your female snake laying and losing quite a bit of weight, and sometimes they pass away from laying. So luckily that hasn't happened to me, but I've had friends that has happened to them, just because the females are a little bit on the light side, and they never went back on food because they just were too weak. Some they will eat once and then they pass away. So you really got to be careful, and you always want to just look at it as your animal's health first before anything else. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this girl away now. I rambled on a lot, so let me go ahead and put her away. So this, I'm gonna show you one more snake. This one right here is a Huffman female. I actually got her this year from a buddy. We did a trade, and she is actually eating well, and on top of that, she does have follicles already. She has probably around 15 millimeters, maybe 20. So I fed her heavy this week. I gave her an extra rat, but looking at her chart card, I'm probably gonna go ahead and pair her one more time in the next week or two, and I think that's it for her. She's gonna go. So this girl right here is a Huffman het hypo. So I've been pairing her with my pewter champagne hypo male to make some siren hypos, and also champagne siren hypo. I don't know what that would look like. I don't know if it's been made yet, but that's kind of my project this season. So she is, I mean, you can look at it, she is thick. And if you flip her over, you can see it's not concave, it's convex, because there's a lot of stuff in there. And she ate about two days ago, so she is a little full. She ate a small rat, a couple of small rats. I gave her one on Friday and I gave her one on Sunday. So she's looking gorgeous. She's glowing right now. So this is kind of the thickness that I'm looking for. If you guys want to kind of get a gauge, you know, this is a handheld flashlight. I mean, she's thick. So if you guys are good at maybe doing some gauging, this is a small handheld flashlight. If you guys want to see something more, it's a pen. You know, she's thick. So this is, and she's probably over 2,000 grams right now. But she's short. She's one of the shorter snakes, but she's got girth. So this is kind of what I'm looking for when I'm pairing, when I'm looking at snakes. When I know one is not ready yet, you know, let me see if I can show you guys one that is not quite ready. That one's too small. Let me see. Can't find one. These girls, a lot of these girls are really, really big. So let me. Not that one. It's hard to gauge, but this girl just laid in August, so she's definitely not ready. But she's on a bigger female. So me knowing her when she was at her full weight, she's right now looking skinny. So she still looks skinny to me. So knowing the history of the females that you guys are purchasing to pair, to me this girl is still skinny, but you know, she didn't lose a lot of her weight. She gave me 10 eggs, but definitely she needs to for me, my preference, I want her to bulk up a little bit more, because I know that she was a bigger female when I started breeding her anyway. So she's about 3 years old, and she is eating, pounding food right now. So for a female like this, knowing that she didn't lay until August, I probably wouldn't be pairing her until January. So I'm going to be feeding her right now, just getting her back to weight, and then she will see some males beginning of January, and she may lay in June, July, or August, that time frame. But I usually try to keep it. She's not going to stay still. About 2 to 3 max of pairing, and usually they're done. So, all right, guys, just kind of wanted to share with you guys my my tips, tricks on how I do things, my thought process. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Comment down below, message me on Instagram or Facebook. If you guys have anything specific that you guys wanted to ask me as far as what I do. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.